Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
Right where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no hold the lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is impossible. Ain't no confident rapper. He think only one word they saying, this shit life work. Think I'm in one of us, he might lose his life first. Suck up and stay alert. Not this the nigga. This that ass bleed. Put that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see listening is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like John Wall. We gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As here, question this bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell shit, I ain't to do that. Last nigga standing, do a lot of cynics for I pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young pay. How you real trigger know the that you a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? That's something I ain't this shit like it. Who go up first? I in a bad situation. A gang to raise up to get shots. I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that speaks, and you'll never get that hand back. Bitch about 10%. I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Yeah. I didn't want to be Richard Porter. Nigga, I am not a hey, I with that hollow sign. Yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap, crack in the sky. Nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show. We could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
remorse in my blood slip. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new pair of bellows.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a
On the highway. Only thing I got in this life.
All right, Most High in Christ. Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak the thumb. Let me get this right. Yahweh Shemar the thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai. What I said there is Most High in Christ. I salute the brothers. And Shalom Yahweh Shemar al thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai. Meaning peace. And may the Lord keep the sisters through Christ. So, gonna get into some brotherhood scriptures today. It's been a minute, and just gonna do it like we used to it. I hope everybody is blessed, enjoying their day. But we got to get out of this captivity, and the only way that we really do it is by following these laws, statutes, and commandments, and making sure that we watch each other's back. Make sure that as we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, that we look over each other while we do it, because we can't keep the law, statutes, and commandments and just be a individual. Like it's a lot of people that try it. It doesn't really work out too well, because who's going to let you know if you keeping the law or not? Like, you can try and do it by yourself, but if you're not taught first and you don't have somebody else to help you out, to be able to recognize when we're doing wrong and when we're doing right, and making sure that we continue to do right, it's going to be hard to do it without a team, because the Most High commanded us to do it together. Being an individual, like, it ain't the way to go. But the first scripture we're going to go to is 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. Let's go over there. So this is the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, so if you say you really care about the Most High, that you really love the Most High, right now, you're about to find out exactly how he's supposed to do it. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, not love his brother, but hate his brother. He said, I love God. Or I love the Most High, but I'm an individual. Like, I love the Most High, but I don't like the way my brother wears shoes. I don't like how he wears crown. I don't like this, that, and the other. I just hate them. He is a liar. You cannot say that you love God and you hate your brother. They just don't go together. It just doesn't match up. How you gonna say that you love God, but you hate who he created and commanded you to love too? It just doesn't work that way. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? So your brother is right there in front of you, and you claim to love God who you can't even see, but you can't even deal with who is right in front of you. It's impossible to love God if you deal with your brother that way. Now, just to be clear, for those who don't know, when it comes to the scriptures, they're translated from Hebrew. Well, the Old Testament is translated from Hebrew, the New Testament is translated from Greek. Now, when we say brother, it's kind of like Spanish. It's like walking into a classroom. If I say hola niños, basically everybody in the classroom is going to understand that I'm not just talking about the little boys, I'm talking about the girls too. So when it says brother here, it's not just talking about if you hate your brother that you don't love God, it's your sister too. It goes in both of those directions. It applies to your brother and your sister. So I just want to make that clear so nobody thinks that you can just pick and choose who you love or and who you don't. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who hath loved Salakia, that he who loveth God love his brother also. As I mentioned before, it's a commandment. When God say to do something, when God say something is, that is a commandment. That's law. It is law to love each other. It is law to make sure that we keep these law, statutes, and commandments, because when we don't, a whole lot of bad things happen. When we don't, we end up the only black person amongst all the white kids we thought was cool, and then they unalive us on the beach, like you see with Nolan Wells here recently. If he would have been with his brothers or with his sisters, then he wouldn't have been in that situation. I seen it was a comedian here recently. I can't think of his name right now, but he made a joke, and even though it's a joke, the funniest jokes have truth in them. And he asked, he said, "What do you call one white dude in a group of black people?" And he said, "Safe." And it's sad to say that that's the way that it is here in the land of our captivity. But when it comes down to it, that's more of a reason why we have to make sure that we do as God commanded and love each other. Because even though you can show love to the other nations, when you showing that love to the other nations, when it comes down to you by yourself with them, you start to see exactly how some things go. I seen how it went when I was in the military. When I was there, it wasn't being with them, you get to see they different side for sure, because they weren't commanded to love us. We were commanded to love us. So we have to make sure that we stick to the script that the Most High gave us, which is these laws, statutes, and commandments, and do as he commanded us to do. So I want to go over to Matthew chapter, let's go to 5 and 22. So we can see what else in this brother that we supposed to do according to the law. So this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. So what this is saying here is you can't just have no reason to be upset with each other. We can't walk around doing that. That's like when you hear somebody, they say, "Oh, I don't like so and so because I don't know. I just don't like them." Like there's no cause. You have no reason to dislike them. You have no reason to nitpick with them. Salakia. You have no reason to nitpick to to say that you don't like them. You just with no cause. They did nothing to you, but for some reason, you just don't like how they move. You don't like how they talk. You don't like the fact that they breathing. There's something wrong with you. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, so that's like shunning your brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. So when it comes to us going to council about that situation, about us finding out that for whatever reason, you just don't like your sister, you just don't like your brother for whatever reason, for no reason, particularly right here, for no reason, it's not gonna go well for you. You will be found at fault. You will be found wrong for just not showing love to them just because you didn't, you don't know why you don't like them, but you just don't like them. We've seen it all the time around us with people in the world. Them just hating each other for no reason. God doesn't like that. And this is Christ telling us that this is just not good. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. So don't hate each other or without a cause, or just come against each other without a cause. You angry at somebody because for no reason. You can't even figure out a reason. Sit back, collect yourself, and figure out, okay, what is the reason that I feel this way or I think this way toward my brother or towards my sister? Why is it that when I see them, it irks my nerve? Because if you look at yourself first, you might realize that it's really you who is irking your nerves, because you're not checking what you're dealing with internally, and you should go and get counsel. You should go call your camp leader, call one of the men above you to find out what the issue is with you. Because if you are angry at your brother or sister for no reason, it's not helping anybody, and it's not brotherhood. All right, I want to read that last portion again. Shall be in danger of hellfire. You will be in danger of receiving judgment right here on earth. That's where hell is. When it says in danger of hellfire, hell is not some place in the earth's core with some dude named Hades who got red horns and a pitchfork hook. Hell, the judgment of hell is on earth. You will receive your judgment on earth for nothing, because you were angry with your brother or sister for nothing. They did nothing to you. They had no cause. You had no cause to be angry at them. And now you want to take them to counsel. And when they ask you what's the problem, you got a whole lot to say, but you're really saying a whole lot of nothing, because you really don't have a reason. You are in danger of hellfire. Like with Cain and Abel. Cain had no reason to unalive Abel. What he did was his fault. And God told him that sin lieth at the door. Don't be like him, or you will receive judgment on earth. And just to speak a little bit more on hell, we'll actually go to let's go to Matthew 10 and 28. And so that we can see where hell is at, so that we can further understand that this judgment, like you're not just going to hate your brother and just get away with it, and then we just go to some magical place later on with some, dude, some all red dude with a pitchfork. No, that's some magic. That's like what it is. It's Roman mythology. It has nothing to do with God. That's just what was mixed with. That's what the other nations mixed with what they call Christianity now, in order to get more people to practice it. In order to get more people to practice it, they wanted to mix it with what was already being practiced, the pagan cultures of that time. They was believing in Zeus and all that stuff. That stuff has nothing to do with God. So let's go to Matthew 10 in chapter 28. So we could take a look at hell, at hell and where it's at. All right, so this is Matthew 10, chapter 10 and verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body. Don't be scared. Like we don't have, there's a law that says that we are not supposed to fear. So-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians as Israelites, even in any captivity, even in the new kingdom, it doesn't matter where we are at. It is a sin for us to fear the other nations because of who we serve, who we represent. So don't fear those who can just kill the body. We don't have an excuse to be cowards. Here in the ISUPK, we say no cowards for a reason. And we mean that. So don't fear those who just killed the body. We have a lot. Our understanding comes from God. The truth as we know it comes from God. We know that it goes way further than this flesh. We know that when it's all said and done, who really controls who we are and where we go when this flesh goes away. So we don't have to worry about who's going to try to do some bodily harm to us. If that's all you got, if that's the only power that you got, then you don't have any power, really, not in comparison to what we know, but are not able to kill the soul. The soul is what I'm talking about when I say that when this flesh goes away, this soul continues, because no man on this planet can kill the soul. No man on this planet can really off you what makes you you, what gives you your personality. So when you come back in a new flesh, what continues to, even though you may have a new name, that personality is still there. Who you are as far as how God made you at your core, your soul, that remains the same. But they're not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So we know as we exist here on earth, our soul is in our body. So on earth is where we receive this judgment. This is where hell is at. So we have to make sure that we avoid that hell, because hell is a condition. Hell is not a physical place. Earth is not named hell. Its core is not named hell. Hell is selling dope to each other. Hell is going to hang out with a group of people amongst the other nations and getting unalived. Hell is being shot over a bottle of water in a gas station when you weren't even trying to cause them any harm. Hell is what we deal with on a daily basis here in our land of captivities, no matter where we are, the US, UK, I mean, you pick one. I lived in Africa for 8 years on and off, and it was hell over there too. It doesn't change where hell is, because scripture tells us where hell is. So I want to go to Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 16. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 16. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun, not under Jupiter, under the sun. So under the sun here is talking about earth, where we are now, under the sun, the place of judgment. So judgment is what we receive. It's like deciding what the end conclusion is going to be as it pertains to somebody's actions. If somebody does something, there's somebody who judges them. They decide what happens to them. Like, for instance, even when we do things to other people, or when people do things to us. Like if I were to walk down the street right now and I were to see somebody And when I see them, they have just a bunch of bad things to say to me without a cause, as mentioned earlier, and I decide to slap them. That's me choosing to judge them that way. My judgment on them was to slap them, as opposed to just walking away, or as opposed to just addressing it in a different way. However, I decide to react to them is a possible way of me judging them because of the way that, because their action, it's addressing someone's action. So moving on, that wickedness was there. So under the sun on earth, the place of judgment where there was wickedness at, as we see today, tons of it. Every time we look up, it's more wickedness being done to so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. ICE, I think they just got more money than the Marine Corps. They just got a whole bunch of money, and they're not even in an official military branch. This is how far, these are the lengths that they're willing to go to make sure that our people stay in captivity and continue to be oppressed. You got a whole just division of I don't even know what you want to call it. Basically militarized police looking specifically for us. The number one demographic that is the number one illegal immigrant in the US, it's not Issachar. It's not the so-called Mexican. It's Asians. They are the number one. They are the number one illegal immigrant in the US. But you don't see them on TV. You don't see them. You don't see the ICE agents jumping into their stores, raiding their shops, kicking down their houses, having their kids behind cages. It was a terrible condition where it's terrible conditions inside there. I can't even remember all of them, but it's terrible conditions in there. But wickedness was there. And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So on earth, we can see under the sun, the place of judgment. We can see that wickedness was there in the place of righteousness. So there's righteous here too. The ISUPK, we are the righteous on this earth. We are the ones going out on that pulpit of wood and reminding our people who we are as Israelites in the Bible. That iniquity was there. That sin is here too. Reason we have to go out and we have to teach our people to come back to God is because sin is here too. But as you can see, this is where judgment happens. This is where hell is where that condition of hell is placed, where we have to deal with that through the judgment of God. So I want to let's go to Revelations. Well, actually, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 22. I want to stay on the topic of hell. Because when we don't show brotherhood, when we don't make sure that we following these laws, statutes, and commandments, we can end up in these hellish conditions. We can end up in situations that are terrible for our people. And that's the reason why we have to make sure that we come back to God so that we can get out of that, get to the new kingdom. Because once Yahushua cracks that sky, we don't have to deal with the hell that we've been in. But once we come together to get out of it, then it just makes it so much better for us. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell. So God right here is saying that a fire is kindled in his anger. He's just saying he is extremely upset about what's going on, and shall burn unto the lowest hell. To the lowest hell. Let's keep that in mind. and shall consume the earth. It didn't say Pluto. It said the earth unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase. Hell is a condition that we have to deal with here. It's not a condition that we have to deal with in, like I said, in the earth's core or in some type of Roman mythology with some Greek creatures and all that other gobbledygook that they tell us. It has nothing to do with where hell is. We have to deal with it here, and it's important to know where hell is, because if we don't know where we have to deal with those conditions of hell, we're not gonna know that we're in hell to get out of it. That was some of the problems when we were enslaved. When we were enslaved, Harriet Tubman was trying to save some of our people, and when she was trying to save some of us, you know what some of our people said? They were like, "Oh, I don't want to go." It's like, "Why don't you want to go?" "Because Master gives me sleeps, he gives me eats, he gives me all this." And because they didn't realize that they were in hell. They didn't realize that they were the strange fruit. They didn't realize that if we didn't get out of that captivity, that we would end up the barbecue on July 4th, because we were not included in that independence letter. We were not included in that at all. It said all men were equal, but we were still 3/5 of a person. I don't even know if they changed that to this day, but that is hell. And if we don't recognize what the hell that we're in, we will stay in this condition. And that's why we're still here now, because not enough of our people have recognized where we are. Reading on. And set on fire the foundations of the mountains. The mountains are right here on earth. He didn't say set on fire the foundations of where Zeus is at, of Zeus's bedroom, or wherever the dude with the pitchfork is. He said right here. It's important that we make sure that we avoid these hellish conditions, that we push each other to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, because Christ made sure that he came to be that sacrifice for us, to make sure that we have that chance to do it. And with that being said, I really want to let's go to John chapter 4 verse 22. Let's see. So this is the book of John chapter 4 and verse 22. This is the book of John chapter 4 and verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know who we worship. The other nations don't know who they worship. We know this clearly because the Most High told us in this Bible that we are supposed to worship him and nobody else. But the other nations don't know who they worship. I just mentioned it earlier. The red man with the pitchfork, and all these other Roman mythologies and things that they associate with Valentine's Day and Christmas and all this other stuff. They don't know what they worship. They don't know who they worship at all. Shalakia. We know what we worship. Once again, just to double down, we know what we worship. We know who we worship, and we know that he is the most high power. There is none above him, none at all. And this is Christ speaking, letting us know that we know who we worship, and we have to make sure that we let each other know and remind each other that we know who we worship, so that we know that that is the way that we get out of these hellish conditions. For salvation is of the Jews. This is who Christ came for. He came for us. That is who he died for. It wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for naught. For salvation is of the Jews. So we have to understand that in order to get out of these hellish conditions, that we have to make sure that we focus on this salvation. Because in order to get this salvation, we have to come together. We have to show brotherhood. and we have to make sure that we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that being said, I'm gonna pass the class over to Officer of 1,000-yard mock.
Oh wait, Salak. Can you hear me now? Salak.
Khan.
Most High in Christ. Well, let me make sure that I'm set up here. Does it sound like I got a delay?
It's a tad shaky, but I can still hear you clearly.
Okay, Most High in Christ. Well, give yourself a hand. I've been listening to you brazen and breaking it down for all the brothers and sisters to hear. Of course, we are the Israelite School of UPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You're tuned in to the Brotherhood class of Eastern North Carolina. So again, I do want to say the water to all of you brothers and all of you sisters out here that's rocking and rolling with Commander General Yohana and the truth and tuning into these classes. You understand? I was listening a little bit to what the brother was breaking down, and what he was breaking down was very, very heavy. It was very heavy for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to understand, because a lot of us don't really see the truth or the reason for us being in the truth, and what makes it different than the Christian church or the Muslim mosque. A lot of people see this as just another religion or another way of life or another way of thinking, when in actuality what we teach and what we believe in and who we worship and who we follow is the very salvation that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians absolutely need right here in America and across the earth and across the globe. You understand? And that's what the brother is breaking down to, that there is a sore importance of understanding who our God is and who salvation is for. You understand? So I definitely want to thank the water for bringing that out and breaking those scriptures down for y'all. And before we get into the topic, I just want to ask if there's any questions in the room. Of course, Michael Ward, you already know. If you got any questions, we right here rocking and rolling. But for those online, if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it into the chat. And Lord allow, if I can answer your question, I will. If not, we'll save it for Captain I Thought later on at 7 o'clock tonight. All right. Any questions, Michael Wolf? You got any, you can shoot.
Okay. So I wanted to know so as it relates to Genesis 15 and 16, chapter 15, verse 16, which scripture shows the iniquity of the Amorites being completed?
The iniquity of the Amorites. Talking about let's see, let's go to it.
Like I couldn't hear you clearly.
Oh, so I was saying let's go to, I believe this is after the angel spoke to Abraham and told him that his seed would be a stranger in another land.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's go there and let's start at verse 13.
Okay. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 15 and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
And the seed of Abraham is who in this context?
This is
so
this is Isaac and Jacob.
It would be Jacob.
Right?
Which is who?
Israel.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So Black people would end up becoming a stranger in a land that is not theirs, right? So this is the context of who we're speaking of. Keep going.
Okay. And shall serve them.
And we shall serve the people that in the land that is not ours. To just to give it to, we will be slaved in America. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. Hello? No, yeah, I'm teaching the class right now. I have to deal with it after. Okay. Salakia. Can we read that one more time, Salakia?
Okay. And shall serve them,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Mm-hmm. And the people that we would serve in this place in America, we would serve them for 400 years. Of course, we've now been here in America for about 400 years, right? Which is why the scriptures say that we are what they would call the last days. We're living in the last days right now. And this prophecy that this angel had told to Abraham thousands of years ago is coming to light. It's coming to fruition, right? Keep going.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Mm-hmm.
And afterward shall they come out with great substance.
So what does that mean?
So that after being in our captivity, we'll come out with, I guess, rich.
Yes, but in what way?
So the first thing that come to mind is money, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, brotherhood. That's the only thing I can think of.
Brotherhood. Will we have brotherhood, right? What is it that we would have after we serve this people that we did not understand for 400 years? What would we come out with? Outside of money, outside
Freedom,
of brotherhood. Mm-hmm.
our freedom of
Freedom.
basically having like a captive mindset, having Stockholm syndrome.
Freedom is a better word that's on it, but we would have our rulership. We will be in control now. You understand? Now that we were servants, the scriptures say that they will be servants, or that they would have rule over whose servants they were. Right. So now we'll be the rulers and they'll be the servants. Why? Because at this time they're in our land. They're in our land. They're living in our land. They're taking our lands, and they've taken us to be captives and to be servants. Leadership. Leadership is another good word, right? We'll have authority. We'll have power. We'll have rule over these nations who have had power and rule over us for 400 years that we didn't understand their language. We didn't understand their culture, their way of thinking. We didn't understand why they hated us so much. We never understood it. You ever seen Rocky? Rocky is like, if you know Rocky, go back to the old videos. He makes himself to be such an innocent guy. He just doesn't understand why Apollo Creed hates him so much, or why what's the other guy? Mr. T. What was Mr. T's name? Clubber Lane. He didn't understand why Clubber Lane just wanted to whoop him so bad. He just act like that guy's mad. That's how black people are with white people. We try to find reasons, like, why do white people hate us so much? Why do the Amorites hate us so much? Well, one day God is going to free us from the captivity of the Amorites and all of the heathens who have put us in servitude, and will have power over them. We'll be granted the power to rule over them as they have had their time to rule over us. Keep going.
I will come, verse 15. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
Meaning we would now have life. Like the time we was living back then, we were dying from sicknesses. We were dying from being oppressed. We were dying from being unalived because we were slaves. But after this, we would then have life. We would be able to live and see generations after us be able to live and prosper. And we would die knowing that our great grandchildren were in good hands, and not dying knowing that our sons and our daughters were going to be nothing but slaves. Keep going.
I will come, verse 16. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again.
Mm-hmm.
For
Keep
the
going.
iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
For the iniquity of read it again from the beginning of the verse.
Okay. But in the fourth generation
Mm-hmm.
they shall come hither again.
Mm-hmm.
For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
So the iniquity of the Amorite, what does iniquity mean?
Sin.
Mm-hmm. So the sin of the Amorites were not yet full. So what is God giving the Amorites? What did he give them?
So he's giving them time to finish out their sinning.
He's not giving them time to finish their sins. He's giving them a chance. He's giving them a
Stop.
chance.
Come.
He's giving them a chance to stop sinning. Like the Lord is letting you know that you're going to be in servitude for 400 years in this land. And in this land, you're dying. You're being oppressed. But after you have been oppressed and after you've died for 400 years, one day the Lord is going to bring you out of this servitude, bring you out of this captivity, and he's going to give you power, give you salvation. You understand? But now, in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Meaning what? God is not going to destroy the Amorites here, or the Canaanites. He's not going to destroy them immediately. He's giving them a chance. He's giving them time. He's giving us, somebody said it online, right? He's giving them grace. He's giving them opportunity to change. The white man has had an opportunity to change. He's had it. He's had it since Columbus sailed the ocean blue to change his ways, to say, you know what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews and Israelites according to the Bible. And because of that, white people have to give back their identity. The Jewish man is not a Jew. He's not. He has to surrender all of that he's gained in the name of being a Jew, and he has to give it back to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This would be white people's time to do it. If there's ever a time, it's right now. Because if you don't do it, if you don't give back what you've taken from Black people, if you don't end your iniquity, in your sin right now, well, then God is just going to give salvation to Black people. And our salvation means that you will have to surrender everything that you have gained from putting us in captivity. And this is what was going to happen. This was what was prophesied unto Abraham that would happen. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 17. It came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between these pieces, those pieces.
So right now, remember, Abraham is getting a vision from the Lord. He's getting the angel is appearing unto him and prophesying unto him. That's why he's seeing the smoking furnace and a burning lamp. You understand? And this is where the Lord is going to make a covenant with Abraham to give him the land near the Euphrates. I believe it's somewhere near the Euphrates River. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where the Lord is giving the angel. I mean, so like the Lord is giving the covenant to Abraham, right? Okay. So to answer your question, the Amorites' iniquity wasn't fulfilled, meaning, like the scripture you pull, like when you kindle a fire, you start the fire, right? But at some point, the fire becomes a blaze. It becomes a blaze, and then after that, it becomes a wildfire, right? The Amorites kindled the Lord's fire, but the Lord gave them time. At first, it was a small fire, but they had time that they could have changed from their ways. They could have given back what they have stolen. But of course, as we know, in 2026, the Amorites did not give back what was stolen, and neither did Donald Trump. Donald Trump isn't giving back what was stolen. And so what is going to happen? Donald Trump is going to lose everything that he's ever taken from Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And of course, by saying Donald Trump, I mean white people. I mean white American society and every heathen that has had any hand on destroying Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They're going to pay back what they owe, and that's everything. They owe everything. Everything that Chinese people, African people, white people, Russians, everything that they have is because they've gotten off to the back of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and they're going to have to pay it back. That's it. That's all the Lord is saying.
Okay, throughout.
What else we got? Shalom Yahweh Shema Shabbat to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Latah Hashem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters.
So my next question is, when Lot was spared with his two daughters, was that like a blessing for the Moabites?
When Lot was spared, say that one more time.
He was spared. So when Lot had left, I think it was Sodom and Gomorrah, And his wife, she turned around, pillar of salt. She turned into a pillar of salt. And his two daughters and him, they survived. Even though they went on to, commit incest and stuff like that, was that considered to be like a blessing for them?
Was it a blessing? Okay, maybe I'm missing you somewhere. You said, is it a blessing to the daughters or was it a blessing to Lot?
I would say all of them, or well, Lot in particular, since that's his offspring, since it's his children.
Okay, and are you okay? Let me just make sure I'm with you. Are you asking if Lot got blessed to not be destroyed with the people of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Okay.
Okay, was it a blessing? I don't know if I would use the term blessing because in actuality, Lot didn't he didn't do anything wrong to be destroyed. So in a sense that you could say he was blessed, but remember, Lot was saved because of Abraham's faith. It was because of Abraham. Like Abraham spoke and on behalf and pleaded with the angels to not destroy Lot. And remember, it didn't even start with Lot. So it really didn't have too much to do with Lot. But at first, and my numbers is all the way off, right? But at first, Abraham said, if there is 100 righteous men in the city, will thou save the city? They couldn't find 100 men. And he said, if there's 50 men in the city, will you save the city? He couldn't find 50. He said, if there was 10 men that was righteous in this city, would you save the city of Sodom and Gomorrah? They couldn't find 10 men. So then the angel just gave orders to Lot to Lot and told him, look, get your family, get your daughters, get your wives or your wife and leave the city and don't look back. That was the order that he was given. And he followed that order. Him and his daughters followed that order. Of course, like you mentioned, his wife did not follow that order. His wife missed the world. You understand? His wife missed it. A lot of you will go through the same thing. Your wife, when you come into the truth, you're going to try to bring a sister into the truth with you. You're going to see something. You're going to see that this place is getting ready to burn. This place is getting ready to be destroyed. It's getting ready to burn. It's getting ready to, all hell is about to break loose here. And you're going to hear the men of the Lord who was pleading for you. They're pleading for you like we're doing right now. Right now, Officer Maga War was up here teaching, and he's pleading for some brother that's going to watch this class so that he can get out of the city and live. And that brother, he's going to hear your voice, and he's going to accept it, and he's going to try to bring his woman with him. Why? Because he loves his woman. He loves his daughters. He loves his sons. He loves his family. The problem is this. When you go to leave the city, when you go to leave the world, you have to leave everything that comes with it. That means the good and the bad. You got to leave the good and the evil behind. The problem is that sometimes your woman or your family, they're going to miss the good so much that they'd rather fall with the evil of the world. They'd rather just fall. They'd rather turn around and miss the clubbing, miss the whoredom, miss the drugs, miss the pork, the shrimp, the lobster, the Christmas. Christmas is going to be too much, Maga War, for your wife to get rid of, for her to just follow you into the truth. It's going to be too much. You know, she's going to want to make sure that her children have a good Christmas this year. And you know what's going to happen? She's going to turn around and the Lord is going to unalive her. That's what happened to Lot's wife. Lot's wife missed that Christmas. She missed those holidays. She missed the parties and the food and the brothels. She missed it so much that she disobeyed God. And God turned her into a pillar of salt. She died on the spot. A lot of your women will do the same thing. They'll be so upset and so enraged at the idea that you have more than one wife. They can't stand it. They'll be so enraged at the idea that you have to live a life that is given unto God. You can't go and be a rapper no more. You can't go and be a drug dealer no more and be rich. You got to live a life to where you serve God, and sometimes you struggle. They don't want that. They don't want that. That will enrage them to the point where they'll just go back into the world. They'll just go back into it. And you know what'll happen? They're going to die with the rest of the world. They'll just die with them. They'll just die at 50. They'll die from high blood pressure or gout or some kind of lung disease or cancer, or they'll get AIDS, or they'll get beat by their new husband. Their new husband's going to beat them to hell. He's going to beat them to piss. And they won't have any idea of how to get out of it because now they're stuck. Now they're in the world when they should have just followed you. So what I call it a blessing, of course, anything that the Lord gives us a blessing. But what was more was Lot's obedience to God. God gave his order. Lot followed it. His wife did not. Yeah.
Okay.
You understand? Because if we leave it at blessings, then guess what? That means Lot's wife was blessed too. She was blessed. She received the order on how to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah, but she didn't live. She didn't live. She didn't want the blessing. She wanted to party. And you know what Lot's wife wanted? I know you know. What does she want? What do all women want? What does she want, which cost her life? You want to take a guess? This is women's crutch. This is the reason why women are going to fall. They're going to be destroyed because of this thing right here. This is it. If sisters can understand this, and if they can battle this demon, sisters will be so much better off. What is it that Lot's wife wanted that made her lose the truth? Come on.
So like she wanted to do whatever she wanted to do. She didn't want to do.
What did she want? Anybody in the chat want to take a shot? What did Lot's wife want? What does any sister want, which will make them leave the truth? Which will make them turn their back on God? What does she want more than anything? Got it? Want to take another shot, or you surrendering?
I'm not sure.
America is burning said Lot's wife didn't like order and stability. Quadra said things. She wanted things. I'm sure she wanted things. Things, you know what? Things is almost on it. You're almost at the answer by saying that. She wanted things. Things that what? Things that what? Sisters hate this. I know a sister's supposed to answer this quickly because the sister knows it. A sister wants this thing even while she's in the truth. She wants it at nighttime, in the morning time, in the daytime. She wants it when she's working out, when she's eating, when she's mad, when she's sad. She wants this thing all the time. What does she want? Lot's wife was materialistic. Y'all like beating around the bush. Y'all is not giving it to me straight. Comfort, familiarity, everything y'all are saying is right. But all of these things, the materials, the comfort, the familiarity, the things, order, stability, all of these things make a woman what? What does it make a woman? Attention is another one. Attention makes a woman what? There you go. That's the answer. That's it. Lot's wife wanted to be happy. And that's the fall of women. That's the downfall. Because their life at some point becomes so encumbered with the idea, I have to be happy. You understand? You know how many women are not in the truth? And the reason they're not in the truth is as simple as, I just wasn't happy. Michael, how many women do you know are not with their man? And the excuse isn't, oh, he was beating on me. The excuse isn't, oh, he was a drug addict. The excuse is never that. The excuse is, I just wasn't happy.
Oh,
I just
God.
wasn't. How many movies have you seen where the girlfriend say, "Girl, does he make you happy? Does he make you happy?" That's the fall of women. He made you unhappy. Oh my God. If he makes you unhappy, then you must leave him. You must leave him and go be happy. Well, Lot's wife wanted to be happy. And what made her happy was disobeying God. That's what made her happy. She put her happiness and her peace over serving the Most High. Let me tell you something. All of you sisters out there, stop trying to chase happiness. Just stop doing it. Stop trying to chase happiness and chase things that are relevant to your life. You know, like Margaret Ward, let me ask you a question. Do you think that when a sister goes to be a lawyer and she's in law school, do you think that that makes her happy? You think it makes her happy to go through all of the shit that she has to do to go to law school? Absolutely not. It absolutely makes her angry. You know how many women are in law school who are mad as hell at the homework they have, at the caseloads that they have to do? You know how many women are in nursing school who are terribly angered at the fact that they have to stay up until 5 in the morning studying? You know why? Because they're not chasing happiness. No, they're chasing a degree. They're chasing something of substance, something of value. And when anyone knows that when you chase something of value, your happiness has to be pushed aside. When you raise children, do you raise children because raising children make you happy? Is that what you do, Michael Ward? When you go to boot camp in the military because you want to be a Green Beret, or you want to be a Marine or a Navy SEAL, when you're going through the boot camp, are you doing it because it makes you happy? No, you're not doing it because it makes you happy. You're doing it because you want the end goal. You want the end goal of the thing. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it is, no matter how unhappy you'll be in the process of getting it. If sisters thought like that, then our relationships would be 86% better. They would be 86% better because they would stop being so emotional and they would learn that I have to stay with this man, not because I'm happy. My happiness may be damaged a little bit. My happiness may be tarnished just a little bit. There may be a couple days where I'm just not happy, Magawar. Ooh, I may cry a couple nights. A couple nights, my feelings may hurt. I may hurt because he got another wife. I'm going to have to feel that. I may hurt because he doesn't have a lot of money. I'm going to have to deal with that. I may hurt because he has to go to camp. I'm going to have to stick around for that. But at the end of it all, I would have known one thing that 99% of women in today's time cannot say. You know what the one thing is? I obeyed God. I obeyed him. I didn't listen to my own happiness. God said that when you had sex with a man, that is your husband for life. When you have sex with a woman, that is your wife for life. Who the fuck said anything about being happy in that? I don't know, Margaret. Maybe you just got to show me the scripture. You got to show me the scripture where God said man and woman come together and their life is to be happy. Listen, life isn't about being happy. Life is about obeying God. And in obeying God, you will find your happiness. You'll find it. It'll be right in there. But don't skip that part. Don't skip giving God what he or what he asked of you. Why don't we make God happy? Michael Ward, let's do that. Let's do that before we ask for happiness. Before we ask for peace. Why don't we give God happiness and peace? Lord knows we've given God all of the turmoil. We've given him all of the anger. We've given him all of it. We've sinned against him. We smoked all of the weed. We worshiped every God. We've celebrated every holiday that was not of the Most High. We've done it all, Magawar. We've done everything against the Most High. We've been adulterers unto him. Why don't we say, you know what, let's make him happy before we concern ourselves with our own happiness? Now, with that being said, if any sister out there feels like she's in an abusive relationship, if she feels like she's being mistreated in any kind of way, of course, the Lord has set aside counsels and counselors to deal with those problems. So you use those counsels. I don't want to push the wrong message. I'm not saying get beat on by your husband every single night and do it for the Lord. I ain't saying that. But I am saying you might have to deal with your man having another wife, because that is as holy as the Sabbath day. That's what I am saying. Come on, Michael. What we got? Obviously, I run kind of said the Most High requires it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on, what else you got?
Okay, so I wanted to know in Genesis chapter 23, verse 15 and 16, did Abraham insist on paying because he didn't trust the heathens due to them being godless? This is where he was trying to find a place to bury, I think it was Sarah.
Yeah, Abraham. No, he didn't. Abraham was just a just man, right? He was a just man. Abraham wanted to pay. He wanted to pay. I believe these were Hamites. Yeah, these were Hamites, and he wanted to bury Sarah on the land, right? He wanted to pay for the land and bury Sarah in a cave, if I'm not mistaken, right? But the reason why Abraham paid them is because Abraham was a just man. That's it. He a just man, and it was the right thing to do was to pay them for the land that they were in control of that time. And of course, in paying for that land, Abraham later died, and when he died, he was buried in the same cave that his wife was buried in years later. Right?
Okay.
Come on with it. Good question. And Salag, if I could, that also speaks to how brothers should deal with heathens. Understand? Like you don't try to get over on a heathen just because they're African or just because they're white. Like the way we do business is just. We do business justly. Our yay is yay and our nay is nay. And when we say it, we do it, and we do it to the best of our ability. Our business is intact. You understand? Israelites are the best civilized, most civilized people on the face of the planet Earth. You do not, I've heard brothers sometimes say things like, if I got a white waitress, I don't tip the waitress. Don't ever do that. Don't ever, 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 ever do that. You understand? Officer Rock is correct. You be professional. You act like you have some home training. You have a white waitress, and the waitress busts her ass to make sure you got bread on the table, your order is taken correctly. She brings you your refills on time, and she does her job. You tip her. You tip her. You pay her her ways that she's earned. You understand? And that's how Abraham was. That's how he rolled. It didn't matter if they was heathens or not. It didn't matter if they followed God or not. They had land. He needed it. He paid for it. He paid the honest wage for it. And that was he buried his wife and he moved on. And then he was buried there later. Salaki, come on.
Okay. So I wanted a breakdown of Genesis 26, 34 to 35. I wanted to know, why was Esau's marriage a grief of mind to Isaac and Rebekah?
Genesis 26 and what? 34?
34 and 35. Okay.
All right, let's go.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26, and verse 34.
And
Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. Verse 35, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. So is it saying it was a grief of mind because he married the other nations, or is it saying, is it another reason why it was a grief of mind?
It was because of who Esau married. Right?
Okay.
So Isaac is the son of who?
Abraham.
And Abraham, he set up a marriage for Isaac to marry Rebekah, who was, of their people at the time. right? So it grieved them because what Esau did against what Abraham had ordained, right? They didn't like the fact that Esau married a Canaanite, which would be the Hittite woman who didn't follow God. You understand?
Okay. So I also select.
Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs. So like I might have missed the reference for that, but absolutely they do. Go ahead, Margo. What you got?
Okay, I wanted to know in Genesis 27 and 36, is the blessing separate from the birthright?
Yes,
Okay.
but we could read it. 27 and 36.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
For he hath supplanted me these 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?
So now, who is this speaking?
This is Esau.
This is Esau. Esau is doing what? What is he being? He's being. It's me and Tabawan's favorite word. You've been out there in Kinsa for a long. You forgot. He's being a little disingenuous. Esau's being a little disingenuous. Read what he said again.
Okay. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold.
He said he took away his birthright. Did Jacob take away his birthright?
Lie.
No. Jacob did not take away his birthright. Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. He sold it. So Esau he's being a little disingenuous here. You understand? And he's lying. Right? Keep going.
Okay. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
Now he said, now he got my blessing too. He's taking everything away from me. Keep going.
Okay. And he said, how hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?
Keep going.
Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
So he's saying, so what should I do now unto you? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So now he's begging Isaac. He's begging Isaac for a blessing. He's saying, damn, let me get something. He said, dang, you done gave Jacob everything. He took the birthright from me, and he took the blessing from me. And he got servants and all of this, that, and the third. Can I at least get something? Can I get something from you? Right, keep going.
Okay. Slacky and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Meaning where? You're going to be able to dwell everywhere. You're going to be able to be everywhere all over the earth. Keep going.
Come, verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
And by the what?
And by the sword shalt thou live.
And by the sword shalt thou live. Yeah. So Isaac gave him a blessing. And his father's blessing was to bless him with the sword, meaning he would know how to hunt and kill. And that is the progenitor of white people today. White people are absolutely blessed by the sword, which is why they have FBI first 48, FBI's top most wanted. Like white people know how to kill you. That's what they are good at. There's no denying that. They know how to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, kill you with sound button bomb drones. They know how to get you straight up and down. And that's their blessing. They're good at it. Their father blessed them with that thousands of years ago. And to this day, they exercise their blessing by unaliving you, by unaliving blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, by going over there into Al Qaeda and hunting down Saddam Hussein and whoever else they want to go over there and unalive. You understand? So yeah, the promise and the blessing are two different things. The promise is that the nation of Israel would inherit the kingdom of heaven of God. That's the promise. The blessing is no different than the blessing that Ishmael got from Isaac. You know, Ishmael got the blessing that his people would be a great and mighty people. Right? A lot of nations on earth got blessed with different things, but the promise, the children of the promise, comes through Jacob. Right?
Okay.
The children of the flesh comes through Isaac, which of course is Ishmael and Esau and so on and so forth.
Okay.
What you got next? Let's go.
So I wanted to know in John chapter 1 and verse 23, is John saying he fulfilled Isaiah's prophecy in Isaiah 40 and 3?
You said John what?
Chapter 1 and verse 23.
And 1 and 23. And you said, are you trying to connect which prophecy he's saying he fulfilled?
What kind? I don't know if it's Isaiah 40 and 3.
Let's go.
I was just trying to figure out if it was that.
Let's go to them both.
Okay. So this is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 23. He said, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah.
Mm-hmm. So the prophecy that he's fulfilling is the prophecy of him preparing the people for the coming of Christ. Right? So what was the scripture you had asked aside from that?
It's Isaiah 40 and 3.
That's exactly the scripture. I believe that's where it says prepare the way of the Lord, right?
Okay.
So you could read that.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Yes.
Straight in the desert a highway for our God.
Mm-hmm. So that's the precept to what John is saying that he did. Right?
Oh,
He's the one he's the voice in the wilderness that is making straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah or Isaiah. All right.
I wanted to know if is that scripture also a good good oppression precept?
Which one, Isaiah or John?
I guess I would say John.
What do you mean by oppression?
So when he says, I am the voice of one crying in the wilderness, that wilderness portion, the crying in the wilderness, is it, if I'm not mistaken, is he crying out to Israel to try and get us to come back?
Yes. So like you are also the voice in the wilderness right now. I'm saying you are. When you go out to camp and you crying out, remember the scriptures say, cry aloud and spare not, and show my people their transgressions. Like you're doing the same thing John had to do. That's what the Israelite School of UPK is doing. We're paving the way so that when Christ comes back, the nation of Israel is ready to follow him. That's all we're doing. Right? Getting brothers and sisters prepared. You understand? Getting them cleaned up. You ever like one of them movies where someone has to marry the king or something, and they'll have like 1,000 women But before the women are shown to the groom, they go through this process of getting clean and bathing and learning certain things and learning how to speak to the king and learning how to bow their neck and all this, that, and the third. We doing the same thing. That's all we doing. We're trying to teach the people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, how to bow your neck for Christ. That's all we're doing. You understand? And that's the job that we have. That's it. Showing you the way. Showing you how it's done. That's why fake Israelites got to stop being in them fake Israelite camps. You understand? You're gonna go up to Jesus Christ and you're gonna say, damn, Michael, well, I'm so one West, I don't even know how to make a joke. I done forgot the damn fake way of saying it. God damn. What they say? I lied to you now, Michael. Well, I dead was about to say Shalawama. In my head, I'm thinking Shalawama. I'm like, that don't sound right. What is it that they say? Come on, you know.
Like you talking about the breakoffs?
Yeah. What is it's the one that's kind of like Shalawama. I'm having a terrible brain fart right now. It's not Shalom. It's damn, I can't think about it. I'm dead serious. It's something like Shalawama or Koti or something like it's Shalawam. Shalawam, that's what it is. Salaki. Shalawam.
Okay.
Damn, man. That's but yeah, they're gonna go up to Christ and they're gonna say Shalawam. Shalawam. And Christ's gonna look at them like, Jesus, what the hell is you talking about? Right? That's the wrong way to approach Christ and to bid peace unto him. The appropriate way is to say shalom. That's the appropriate Hebrew. That's the appropriate pronunciation of the word peace is shalom, not shalom, not shalom, not anything outside of shalom. But that's what we're doing. We're trying to teach people to show them the way so that they can be prepared for Christ when he returns. Right? And that's the same thing John did, right? Come on.
So I wanted to know if I can get a breakdown of Psalm chapter 69 and verse 9.
I was just talking to somebody about the book of Psalms earlier. Apparently a lot of Christians love the Psalms. You ever heard that term where Christians will say, make sure you read the Psalms? You ever heard that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even understand why they would say something like that. I guess there's a lot of beautiful things in there or something that they like. I guess. I don't know. Maybe. You said Psalm 69 and what?
69 and 9.
69 and 9. All right, let's go to it.
Okay, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me.
And the what?
And the reproaches of them that reproached thee are fallen upon me.
Yes. So who's speaking here?
David.
David. King David is saying, he's saying, let me see. How can I give this to you without give it to you? Go up to verse 7.
Okay.
Like David is going through what you went through when you came into the truth. Right? A lot of brothers and sisters, you are going to go through this exact very thing that David is going through, right? Where you're going to have to suffer because of the truth. Right? Go ahead, read what you got.
Verse 7. Because for thy sake I have borne reproach.
Because of what?
For thy sake I have borne reproach.
Because of, wait, read that again. It went out. I want to make sure you say the word.
Okay. Because for thy sake I have borne reproach.
So because of whose sake?
God's sake.
Yes. Because of your sake, I have borne reproach. What does reproach mean?
Basically, people don't like me for whatever reason. Like they reject me. Like they don't like what I do. They don't like what I stand for. My presence is disgusting to them. It's I'm a reproach to them.
Yeah, reproach is it's an expression of disapproval or disappointment, right? So I've borne this reproach because of your sake, God, because I love you, because I speak your words. I've borne this reproach. Keep going.
Oh God. Shame hath covered my face.
Shame has covered my face. Now, David is now what? He's realizing that he's naked. He's realizing he's naked. Remember, in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve realized they were naked, that was a bad thing. It was bad to realize that they were naked. Being naked was good. It was good to be naked because they were not like everyone else. But when they realized that I'm not covered by Christianity, I'm not covered by Christmas and holidays and Esau and different cultures like everyone else, they realized I'm naked and not covered like you, and they were ashamed of it. Adam and Eve were ashamed of it. Now, David, he's feeling the same shame. He's feeling it. He's feeling like, damn, because I serve the Most High, because I'm in the Israelite school of UPK and I speak your words, because I go to camp, because I have multiple wives, because I teach this and I teach that. My family hates me. I've borne this reproach. And now shame is covering me. Damn, Margot, I got to go to the family reunion. Damn, Margot, I got to go to the cookout. And when I go to the cookout, I'm going to be the one Israelite there. I'm going to be the only one who everyone decides to hate. You know who else is going to hit? Sisters. It's going to bring sisters. The sister's going to go through this as well. You're going to be married to a brother that got more than one wife. You know what you'll never do? You'll never go to the cookout and say, I'm married to my husband. He has another wife. Because shame is going to start to cover you. You're going to feel like, man, I'm living in a cult. That's what you're going to start to feel. You're going to start to say, damn, I'm actually in a cult and I'm not happy. David was going through the same thing. And shame started to cover him. Keep going.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
I am become a stranger unto my brethren,
Mm-hmm.
and an alien unto my mother's children.
I become a stranger unto my brethren, my friends, my loved ones, my literal brothers and sisters, my mother's children. I'm an alien unto them. I'm unrecognizable unto them. I'm not even the same. I don't even hang out with them no more. And isn't that the beauty of the truth? Is that when you come in here, you still love your brothers and sisters. You still love your mothers and your aunties and your uncles and your cousins. You love all of them. It's them that hate you. It's them. They hate you. And that's the battle that every brother and sister in the truth, you take up. You take up the mantle of that battle because you know what Christ said. If the world hate you, know that it hated me before it hated you. For if ye were of the world would love its own. But because ye are not of the world reject you. That's what Christ said. But before Christ, David was hated. He was hated. Keep going.
Come, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
For the zeal of thine house, my Lord, the zeal of your house is eating me up. This is a lot. It's a lot to serve the Lord. It's a lot. You know, in the school since 1969, you've had many brothers drop their sword. Hell, since the little bit of time I've been in here, I've seen brothers drop their sword left to right. I don't think about it not one bit. You know why, Magawa? Because it's a lot. Yeah, I get it. It's a lot to be in the truth. You can't talk to everybody you want to talk to. You can't say just everything you want to say. You can't do whatever you want to do. You can't sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. It's a lot to be in the truth. Absolutely a lot. That's why they dropped their sword. Right? I just pray that I continue being strong. That's all I could pray. I pray I continue being absolutely courageous enough to deal with the shame of being in a lot, which is the truth. Truth is a lot. Them brothers who dropped their sword, they couldn't deal with a lot. They couldn't deal with it. We deal with it on a daily basis. And David, during this time, he had to deal with a lot of shame, a lot of hatred, a lot of betrayal he had to deal with. Keep going.
Okay. And the reproaches of them that reproached thee are fallen upon me.
And the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. Let me see if you get it. Break this down. What is David saying here?
So what he's saying is those that hate God, now they hate him too.
God ain't right here. God ain't on this screen right here on YouTube. We on YouTube. On StreamYard, who face on the screen? It ain't God face. It ain't Jesus face. It's me. This Officer Yaramak. Someone who hates God, what they gonna do? They gonna come attack me. They gonna get on the live today and they gonna say, you ugly bastard, shut up, get a job. We hate you. We wish you die. I hope you get hit by a bus tomorrow. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say it to me. You know why? Because they hate God. But God isn't here to accept their hatred. I am though. Maga War, you were here. Yazakar, you're here. Iraq is here. Commander Jenny Hanna is here. And because they hate God, they're going to cast their reproach that is for God onto you. They're going to give it to you. And that's what David had to deal with. He had to deal with the world hating him because in actuality, they just hated God. That's why I like to say it all the time. If you got a problem with what the Israelite School of UPK teaches, take it up with God. Because we teach what God says. We do what God says to do. And if you have a problem with that, then take it up with him. Go curse God out. Go tell God. Go tell the Most High to get a job. Go tell him. Of course, they'll never do it. They'll do it to us, and we'll have to carry that burden. We just have to carry it. Keep going.
Okay, verse 10. When I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach.
Keep going.
Verse, I made sackcloth also my garment, and I became a proverb to them.
Oh, it's like we got to your question, right? That was in verse 9.
Okay, we just verse 9.
Con. All right, what we got? Oh, let me hold the next one. Let me get to Troopers Yazakar's question and Sirach 3 and 31 if I could.
Okay. This is the book of Sirach.
Or Ecclesiasticus, Salak.
Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3 and verse 31. And he that requireth, Salaki, and he that requiteth good turns, Salaki, and he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter.
And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. All right. What is requiteth good?
I'm not sure what the definition of requiteth is. I can get that.
Let's go to it.
Okay. This is the definition of requiteth. Requiteth is to repay, reward, or return in kind.
So now, he that repays good turns is mindful of that which come hereafter. Right? So what is this saying?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
So is it saying that when it says repay good, is it saying that basically that they're aware of what's to come, what like the judgment, the new kingdom, they're aware of it, but they're repaying the good by like like when they say repay good, like they're doing good for the sake of the kingdom to be able to um, receive to not go. Well, I guess one example is to not go through the second death, to not um,
This is a character scripture. This is a character breakdown about you, about the type of person you are, right? This person is wise. Why is a person wise? When it says, and he that requiteth good, remember the word requiteth means to repay. He that repays good is mindful that of that which may come after. Why is that wise? Matter of fact, let me see. Maybe we should read the whole thing for you to get it. Just read the whole thing from beginning to end, and then I'll break it down.
will come from verse 1.
No, from the question. I forget the verse. I think he said verse 3 or 31, chapter 3 and 31. Yeah.
Chapter 3 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3 and verse 31. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter.
Mm-hmm.
And when he falleth, he shall find a stay.
Okay. Now, he that requiteth good, right? Remember, he repays the good deeds. I'll make it simple for you. He that repays good deeds is wise, because he knows what cometh after. What does someone who is wise in that way know?
They know that if they don't repay good deeds, then they won't receive anything good hereafter.
Yes, but America is burning said, meaning a person that looks to the need of his brother. Yes, America's burning. Where you from? I see you tuning in the class. Most High Christ, you here. I'm just curious. What city and what state are you in, man? Let me know. But okay, I'm trying to give it to you without giving it to you. I want you to get it. Sometimes you got to be able to. Sometimes you got to be able to see the scripture, right? Like a lot of times you're gonna read scriptures that you haven't necessarily read, but it becomes a skill. Like, of course, you'll gain it the longer you stay in the truth, but it becomes a skill to be able to just hear it, see it, and be able to narrate it right there in front of you. What is wise about doing something good for somebody as someone has done something good to you?
Oh, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll help you. They'll do good back.
Yes. Okay, hold on. So when it says of that which may come hereafter, what is that which may come hereafter?
It could be bad times for you.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's what a wise person knows. A wise person knows that after this, after I'm good, I might need help. I might be poor. A brother may need some help. He may need this, he may need that. And he knows, you know what? I'm going to help this brother. And I'm going to be there for this brother or this sister, because I know that there may be a time where I'm going to need help. I'm going to need someone. You understand?
Okay.
That's what somebody who's wise does. Somebody, he said, Pompano Beach, Florida, Most High in Christ. I don't know who the camp leader is out there. I don't even know what Pompano is, man. But Lord allow you in the school and in classes and rocking and rolling with us. But the water for tuning into the show, to the class tonight, right? So now read it again. Read that first part again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And requitteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter.
So now, someone who requiteth good, he repays good things, and in turns is mindful of that which come hereafter. Meaning, he knows I might need help from somebody later. I might need help from a brother after I help this brother. Right? Keep going.
Khan. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay.
And when he falls, so now here comes after he falls, and when he falls, someone will help him. You understand?
Khan.
Give me Proverbs 19 and 17. When he falls, someone will be there to lend him something. The same way he was there for a brother to lend them something. And that is the type of man that you have to be. That's a wise man. A wise man doesn't think, oh, I got all the money. A wise man doesn't look down on brothers who is lacking in funds and says, why this brother just don't go to work? Why this brother just don't do this? Why this brother just don't do that? A wise brother says, you know what? Let me cast my insurance. Let me just go ahead and do it. How many of you paid car insurance? How many of you pay car insurance? When you pay car insurance, you're giving money for something that you don't in the near future for sure ever think you need. No one pays car insurance and says, yeah, let me pay this $325 this month because I know I'm gonna get in a car accident this weekend coming up. No one ever does that. Who does that? Some of you have been paying car insurance for years and have never made any kind of claim on your car insurance, and you're going to keep paying it. You know why? Because you're wise. You're smart. It's a wise thing to do to keep paying that car insurance. You know you're just giving money away. You do know that, right? You're just handing money away for nothing. You've been paying car insurance for 6 years, Magawar, and after 6 years, if you died, what do you get from that?
You get nothing.
Nothing. That's it. You don't get a partial refund or nothing. If you pay Geico $300 every month for 10 years, how much money is that? Is that $30,000? It's not $30,000. How much is that? Yeah, there's something like that.
Oh.
It's a large amount of money. Somebody get Captain Ithaka here. He could do it. Matter of fact, I'll just do it for the shits and giggles of it. Let's just see. If you pay $300 for 12 months for 10 years, you've paid $36,000 to Geico insurance. And then if you die, hell, you can die from a car accident. If you die, you get nothing back. Nothing. Paying insurance for nothing. But the reason why you pay your insurance is because you're wise. You know that there may come a time where you're going to need Geico. There may come a time where you're going to need State Farm. You're going to need that insurance company. And so what do? You make sure you pay when they need you. See, Geico needs your $300 so that they can stay in operation. That's what they need. Why don't no one ever say, Geico, just go get a job? Why don't the people of Geico just go get a job at McDonald's, Margaret? I mean, what the fuck do they need my money for? You need my money for something I don't even need you. Like, I'm paying you for something that for nothing. Why don't Geico insurance agents just go get a job so that they can keep Geico offices running? They don't have a job. They don't have a job. They rely on you. They rely on you. Well, guess what? Sometimes brothers will have to rely on you. And if you're wise, you'll pay the insurance. If you're wise, you'll help the brother. You'll be there for when a brother is low. You'll be there for him or for her when a brother has fallen. Because maybe one day you do get in a car accident. Maybe one day that truck does get totaled. Maybe one day the circumstances of your life does change. And you know he'll be there for you. That's all state stands. Are you in good hands? Geico will be there. Geico will be there. State Farm, they'll be there to save the day, to make sure that you are good to go, back in another car. They're going to be there because you decided to pay your insurance. Being in the truth is no different. You pay your tithes, and if you're wise, you'll lend a helping hand to brothers and sisters when they need you. Because when you fall, you'll need them to lend a helping hand to you. Read the scripture you got.
Oh, God. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord.
He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord. Like it ain't got nothing to do with you and that particular person. This is a character scripture. You understand? You giving unto that brother is like you giving unto the Most High. You understand? That's how the Most High helps us. He helps us by giving us each other. Brotherhood is more important than water. Brotherhood is more important than air. You understand? Could you imagine this thing without each other? I was daydreaming the other day, and I was thinking about it. I said, damn, imagine if my brothers was not in the truth. Could you imagine the horror it is to be Commander General Yohana alone in the truth? To know that the brothers that you love, that you would die and kill for, is no longer here. Could you imagine the kingdom of heaven, Magawar? I couldn't imagine. The kingdom of heaven without my niggas in it would be less than I prayed for. The kingdom of heaven without my niggas would be less than what I prayed for. I need you, brothers. I need y'all to be there. You got to stay strong. You got to stay in this school. And if me lending unto you is what you need to stay in here, then brother, take everything that I got. Take it. Take my home. Take the car. Take the money. Take my sacrifices. I'll give it to you because I need you for when I fall. That's what the Lord is trying to get us to understand. Now imagine if black people across the globe thought like that. Imagine if your water got cut off in Magawar, you knew all you had to do was go next door to the brother's house next door and just go take a shower over there. Imagine if you didn't have to go to some Chinese-owned laundromat. You just go next door. Right? No sweat. Your clothes, your washing machine is broken. No sweat. You ain't got to go give your money to no Chinese man. How much money was you going to give them? $1, $3, $5? You was going to give them $5 to wash your clothes. I'll just give me $2. Just give me $2. I'll save the $2 up, and then we're going to make sure we get your water back on. Make sure we get your phone bill paid for. Make sure this happens. Imagine that life. That Akim is the kingdom of heaven. That's it. That right there. And that is what we lack because of the Christian church. The Christian church, they believe on looking down on other people. They believe that other people didn't take advantage of the opportunities that God gave them. That's what they believe. No sweat. Well, God is giving you the opportunity to stop smoking weed. So what should I do, Magawar? Should I look at Christians and be happy when they die from smoking weed? I mean, God did give you the opportunity. See, Christians only care about God's opportunities when it comes to making money. That's all they care about, Magawar. Yazakar. Everything in the Christian church is just about making money. Look at her clothes. Look at, did her son go to? I heard her son flunked out of college. Look at this and look at that. Always about some kind of lifestyle or some kind of money. No sweat. Maybe we'll just look at you bad when you die from high blood pressure. Maybe when you die, we'll just say, well, Margot, well, I mean, God did give them the opportunity to stop eating pork. God gave them the opportunity. He didn't take advantage of the opportunity to stop smoking, to stop vaping, to stop eating pork. Maybe we'll just look down on you. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little petty. In the truth, we don't look down on brothers and sisters because they're poor. We don't look down on each other because we go through hardships. We look at it as opportunity. That's us. That's our mindset. If you're in the Israelite School of UPK and you get that text message that a brother or sister needs something, you better look at it as an opportunity. Finally, let me go ahead and get, hey, babe, give me $20. I got to send it to the brother. Why? Because I should be dead for the life that I lived. I should be dead. And so now here's my chance. Here's the opportunity to pay back what I owe to God. Let me help God's son. Let me help God's daughter. Let me help her. Let me send that money. Let me be there. Let me give her the ride. Let me braid his hair. Let me cook for the brother's family. Let me do these things so that I can repay what I owe to God. We see brothers' hardships as an opportunity to serve God, and that's what the Lord is trying to give you to understand. Yazakar, I pray. I hope that answers your question. Come on, Michael, what would you have?
I wanted to know who are the rulers in Exodus 35 and 27.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Kalum
Do you have a list of 1,000 questions in front of you right now?
Ka.
For real?
Not 1,000, but close to, maybe about almost
Like
half or over half of that.
Like 100 or something? Like 500 questions?
Probably about 5, maybe more. I don't know.
Most High in Christ. All right, no sweat. You said Exodus what?
Exodus 35 and 27.
All right, let's go.
So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 27. And the rulers brought onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering.
Yeah, go ahead. No, so the rulers here is the elders of Israel.
Kalum.
Right. You said 35 and where?
27.
All right, let me get there. Yeah. So and the rulers brought onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. This is the rulers are the elders of Israel during that time.
Kalum.
Right? The princes or the chiefs, or they will be the heads of the tribes. Right? They're not kings, right? But they're the people that Moses has set to be in charge of, so the same way we do it today. How you have commander general, it's like you got commander general Yohana, but then you'll have generals. Generals are set in charge of certain zones, right? You'll have it's like a General Shawamar, who is in charge of our zone. Then you'll have General Q Kobalamov, who's in charge of Texas and Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. And then I don't know all of the zones of generals, so forgive me, but each general generally has a zone that encompasses multiple states that they are in control of. And then underneath them, you'll have captains of 13,000s who are more directly in charge of those states and those cities. And then you'll have captains of 10,000s and then 5,000s who are, more and more in touch with those zones and cities and such like that. So that's who these elders would have been, or the rulers would have been back then.
Okay.
All right, come on, what we got?
I got a plethora, unless you want to go into your topic.
Nah, we off for the topic. We running late now, so I'll just take a couple more questions.
Okay. So in Exodus 30, I wanted a breakdown of Exodus 32, verse 32 to, well, actually, let me start with Exodus 32, 26 to 27. I wanted to know, did Moses gather those who didn't worship the calf to unalive those who did?
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Come on.
Oh, God. So this is the book of Exodus.
This is one of the good stories right here. This is a story that Christians I know hate this. Christians don't. I know you go into church and ask them to break this down, they're gonna shut the church down. They don't say, "Oh no," because Christians don't shy away from Moses. They accept Moses and they speak about Moses. The Exodus is one of the greatest stories in history. in world history, Exodus is one of the greatest stories ever. So Christians can't shy away from Moses, and they love Moses. Well, let's see if they love Moses after this. Go ahead, read what you got.
Okay. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, Salakif, chapter 32, and verse 26.
Uh-huh.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on the Lord's side?"
Go up a couple verses. Hold on. Let me get there with you. Let me just get there with you.
Got him, God.
Go to verse 19. And just for context sake, Moses was up on Mount Sinai speaking to the Most High. And when he was speaking to the Most High, he was getting the 10 Commandments engraved onto the tablets. The Lord put a fire on the tablets, and then it appeared on the tablets, and he came down. And when he came down Mount Sinai, Joshua told him, like, look, we hearing a noise in the camp, like the camp of the people, it's a noise of war. And he was saying, it's not the noise of them that shout for mastery, nor is it the voice of them that cry from being overcome. Meaning, it wasn't like they was overcoming and killing another nation of people that was attacking, but it also didn't sound like they was being killed either. Understand? So now Moses and Joshua went down to investigate, and then now we're here at verse 19. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, and verse 19.
Mhm.
It came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot.
So now
And
when he came into the camp, he's saying that they had taken all of their jewels, their earrings, their nose rings, all of the jewels that they had, and they melted it all down, and they made this golden calf. The golden calf was a god or the representation of what god?
Salakia, was it Molech?
Mm-mm. Nah, it wasn't Molech. What god is a representation of the golden, or what if the golden calf a representation of?
Of riches?
Mm-mm. For time's sake, I give it to you. Baal. Right? It was the god of Baal. And Baal is the god of what? If you know what God is, Baal is a god of, then it'll make sense why they did this.
I'm not sure.
For time's sake, I'll give it to you. Baal is the god of harvest, right? Which is why when they were in the wilderness, they created the golden calf because they were hungry. They wanted food, right? And Baal is the god of harvest. So they thought that it would make them be able to eat again, right? Baal is the god of farming, harvest, right? Harvest will be a better word to use, right? But keep going.
Okay. And he cast the tablets, and he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount. Verse 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water. And made
So he took the golden calf and he just broke that giant. He said, man, the hell with this, man. You understand? Because it was a sin to worship other gods, right? We don't need the God of harvest when we have the Father of Israel. We don't need him. The God of harvest, he can go harvest for the Egyptians or whatever. We just seen what the God of Israel will do to the Egyptians' harvest. You understand? So Moses is enraged because he knows, and it's funny, right? Because I just seen, how many of y'all know about the Odyssey? Y'all ever heard of that?
I don't know what it is though.
Okay, the Odyssey is a book that I read when I was younger. I did just recently go see the movie, but it's funny how this Greek mythology, they like to pull from the truth. They like to pull from the truth of the Bible and then make it methodological and give it creatures and stuff like that, so that it becomes a bunch of nonsense. But what Moses was going through is similar to what Odysseus had to go through on a voyage back from the Battle of Troy. And the thing that Odysseus had to go through was that he knew that because his men was hungered, and they had fought at Troy for 10 years. So already 10 years they had been away from their families. And then at some point they get cut off from their route. So now they lost at sea. They have no idea how to get back home. And as they're trying to get back home, they're coming up on these different islands and different places and different circumstances they have to overcome. And as they're trying to overcome them, Odysseus is telling them, you cannot do this. You cannot do that. But because they're so weak, because they're so hungry, because they're so impoverished, they still decide to eat at the witch's house, and the witch turns them to pigs. They still decide to do this and to do that. And when they do it, then they have to pay for it because the gods is cursing them. Now, the Odysseus story is a bunch of nonsense, right? But what Moses is going through is similar in that he's telling the nation of Israel, you cannot serve no other God. I'm telling you, God is going to make sure that we are right. But y'all have to chill. And we didn't want to listen. We didn't want to listen to Moses. We wanted to serve other gods because we are nearsighted as a people. We're not farsighted. We don't see what the Lord wants us to see. All we see is right in front of our face. We see we're hungry and there goes food, we should eat. We're poor and there goes riches, we should take. But we don't understand that the Lord is trying to make a special type of people out of us. And in us falling victim to our flesh, the Lord is going to get rid of all of us. So Moses understood that. And he decided he was going to burn that golden calf and break it. And then he was going to do what he did next. Keep going. Drop down to verse 23.
Verse 23. And they said unto me, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we would not what is become of him.
So now the people is talking to Aaron, right? And Aaron is telling the people, let's not anger the Most High, right? And he's telling Moses that the people are set on mischief. They're set on angering the Lord. You understand? So Aaron is telling Moses, make us gods, which shall go before us. But as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we don't want to become like him. We don't want to be like Moses. We don't want to be like you. We want to be rich. We want to be fed. We want to be, we want to have things that we want to have. Keep going.
Verse 24. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and they came out this calf. And there came out this calf.
Aaron became your modern day what? Aaron became your modern day what? In that moment. Aaron is telling Moses, he's like, man, Moses, the people came to me and they were saying, man, we impoverished, we hungry. They don't even care about whatever this Moses did. We don't even care about that no more. So Aaron, he said, look, all right, I'm hearing what y'all saying. Look, whoever got gold, bring me the gold. Whoever got this, bring me that. We're going to melt it down and we're going to do this thing because y'all begging, because y'all really want this thing. What did Aaron become the modern day? America's burning. He said it. He became your modern day pastor. That's it. The modern day pastor. The people want Jesus to be white. The pastor going to teach that Jesus is white. The people want Jesus to be black all of a sudden in 2026. Now you go in the black church and they took out the white Jesus now. In the 80s and the 90s, you go into the black Christian church, they had the Cesar Borgia picture. They had white Jesus on the windows and on the walls. But now Black people don't want it to be white no more. They waking up. Yeah, so they change it. They take away the white image of Christ. You understand? Black pastors don't have a backbone. They don't. They don't have one. They do whatever they feel would make the people feel good. The scriptures say this. The people say unto the seers, see not. And unto the prophets, prophesy unto us not right things, but prophesy unto us smooth things. That's what Christians say. And pastors, they fit the script well. And that's what Aaron did. Aaron told Moses, look, man, they was putting too much pressure on me. They were saying, fuck Moses, to hell with this, to hell with that. We don't want to be like Moses. We want to eat. So Aaron says, so you know what I did? I made sure that I stayed in charge over them. That's what Aaron did. I made sure that I was the one to be in charge over them. And so he made the golden calf. Keep going.
So like the other one, if I may.
Come on.
Just a piece of information there too, as far as how stiff-necked we were. This was all while the cloud of God was still on the mountain. You could still see it.
A man's hunger is more important than serving God. Right? Lot's wife heard the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and still turned around. Can you imagine?
Oh God.
The people of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were stricken with blindness. They were seeing in 1 point, in 1 second, and then in the very next second, they were struck with blindness. They couldn't see no more. And they still went to go try to rape Lot and his family. You see why our people can't serve God? You see? See why it's so hard for somebody to stop vaping? Why it's so difficult for somebody to stop smoking, to stop eating pork, to stop eating shrimp and lobster? Because you being full is more fulfilling than you serving God. Matter of fact, your happiness, that's the word I should use, Magawar. Your happiness is more fulfilling to you than you serving the Most High. You being happy. What makes you happy? Eating pork. What makes you happy? Smoking weed. Being a stripper. That's what makes you happy. Your happiness supersedes the happiness of the Most High. Aaron understood that. And so because he understood that, he became a pimp to a bunch of whores, which is what a lot of women, they fall victim to too. I don't want to go too far, of course, but it relates. When a woman is so engulfed in her happiness, she is susceptible to being pimped out. You know why? Because a pimp is going to give what, Magawar? What does a pimp always promise?
So riches. She's going to get whatever she wants.
Happiness. You come be with me. You come be with a player like me. I'm protect you. You're going to be happy. You're going to be dressed in diamonds and rings and all the finer things, baby. You come be with me. I have you farting through silk. That's what they say. Yeah. That's a Dolomite reference if y'all don't know. That's what they'll feed you alive because you're so engulfed in happiness. That's why, sisters, you shouldn't be... When you talk to a man, you should just, everything he tells you about making you happy, you should just be like, I don't give a fuck about that. Baby, I'm you know the new red bottoms? I was waiting for a girl to come around as beautiful as you. I was just telling my nigga Magawar. I was just telling him I couldn't wait to buy that new Birkin bag for a woman that came around just as beautiful as you. If you're wise, you should look at that nigga and say, I don't give a fuck about that Birkin bag. I don't care. I don't care about you making me happy. What kind of man are you? Are you a father? Do you beat on women? Do you serve the Most High? Do you eat pork? Do you eat shrimp? Do you smoke? Do you sell? I don't care about you making me happy. A woman who's like that, she's gonna find a good husband. She's gonna find it. She won't be pimped out by some pimp. She won't. Because she's not engulfed in things that make her happy. Us and Israel during this time, we wanted happiness. And Aaron was the pimp pastor who was ready to give it to us. Keep reading.
Verse 25.
Uh-huh.
And when Moses saw that the people were naked, Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies.
So now Moses saw that the people were naked. He said, damn, now they realize that they're different. And now they're shamed unto their enemies. Why? Because God is with you. God is with you. And now you're shamed. You're shamed that God is with you. You're shamed to be an Israelite. You're shamed to be in the truth. You're shamed to only need the Most High God and only pray to him and nothing else. It shames you. You know why it shames you, Margaret Ward? Why is someone shamed by God to be a servant of God in the truth? What is the shame that covers you?
It's the shame is the fact that the rest of the world isn't doing what God said to do, and you can't join them. You can't eat pork.
Hold on, you right there. You right there. You was right when you said the shame is that the rest of the world does not obey God. And start right there, but switch it. After that, what is the shame? The rest of the world don't obey God. You obey God. But what are you? If you get this, I'll be surprised. Someone type it in the chat. If someone could get this one, I'll be surprised. Let me see. Aaron fell weak to the people he was Moses' second in command and was supposed to rule the way. You're absolutely right. He was supposed to do what Moses would have did, but he fell weak. The shame that covers us is that we keep the commandments. God's favorite chosen people. Remember, you serve God. God is with you. God just unalived all of the Egyptians at the Red Sea. And now you're in the wilderness and shame is covering you. You're in the truth. You left your mother and your father. You got with your husband and shame is covering you because of this. What? The rest of the world, they don't. Your mother and father and your aunts and uncles, they are Christians. They are Christians. But you are what in the wilderness? This might be very difficult to get, or I might just be saying it in a way that it's hard to understand. You're shamed because you're what?
You're ashamed because you're hated by them. You're reproached. Come on.
I'm gonna give you a hint. If LeBron James came into the truth tomorrow, not different. If LeBron James came into the truth tomorrow, would he get shamed for it? Would people hate LeBron because he's in the truth?
Come.
Would LeBron give a fuck?
Come.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is tricky because I can't speak for LeBron, right? He might give a fuck, which is why LeBron would never come into the truth. But let's say LeBron has the mindset of you. Let's say LeBron has your mind. So you take your mind and you put it in LeBron's life. Now you yourself are LeBron. Would you give a fuck that people hate you? Would you be ashamed? Why?
Because I know it's the right thing to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's too difficult. It's too difficult to say it that way. It's too difficult. You will be ashamed Because you're hungry, Ak. Because you're hungry. You're ashamed because you can't pay your bills. That's why you're ashamed. You're in the truth. And you gave up the world. And you gave up your family. And all your aunts and all your uncles and Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving. You gave it all up to be in this cult. And now you're in the wilderness. You left Egypt. And now you trying to serve the Lord? You can't even pay your water bill. What would your mother say about you? What is your family going to say about you when they find out that you can't even feed yourself? When they find out you can't even pay your bills on time? What is that woman going to say about you? That ex-wife. You had that woman that left you because you was in the truth. Now she done got with a man and he drive a Tesla, Magawa. He got the Tesla. He taking her on fine wine and dine. They eating all the steak and cheese, all the caviar and crumpets. They eating everything. They even going to the game. But see, they worship Jesus. They worship Christianity. But now here are you. And you supposed to be in the truth. You can't even afford a steak. You can't even afford to watch the game on TV, let alone going into the courtside tickets. You can't afford that. Now you are ashamed. You are ashamed because you are poor and unhappy. You're unhappy, right? That woman that you with, she's sleeping with you, and you know what she is? She's ashamed because she's unhappy. You know what she thought? She thought that when she got with a priest, she thought, I'm just so happy. I'm going the combat that I have against my mother and my father is that I'm just so happy. I'm happy with him. I'm happy to be with him and to be here. But what happens when you're not happy anymore? Then you be shamed. The steak and cheese is good when it's good, but what happens when it runs out? What happens when the money runs dry? What happens then? You just be shamed, Doc. Next thing you know, you'll be burning gold so that you can build a golden calf to go back to the world, to go back to the gods. You'll be ready to go back to your grandma's house and go back to church so that she can take care of you, so that she can coddle you like some baby, so she can hold you just like this, hold you in her arms and say, baby, I knew. Come on back. The church has still got your seat waiting for you. We still here waiting for you. Come on, eat some pork. Come on, eat a little bit of that good bacon. I know you've been missing it. Yeah, go on over there. There's a good man in this church waiting for you. And he only believes in having one wife. Yeah. And then you'll fall for it, Doc. You'll fall for it. You'll go back into the world. You'll build a golden calf. You'll pray that your life can go back to what it is. And the next thing you'll know, you'll wake up and some Egyptian's foot will be corroding your neck. You'll wake up and some knee of some racist cop in America will be on your neck, killing you, unaliving you. You'll wake up and some Chinese man in some Asian store will be shooting your son in his back. You'll wake up and that'll be the reality of the life that you live. You'll sleep with some man and find out that he's abusive. You'll be with some woman and you'll find out that she's some bottom dollar hoe that you done married. You'll go back into the world and you'll realize, damn, I made a mistake. I made a mistake by choosing the world over the truth. I made a mistake by choosing my happiness over serving the Most High. That's the smoke and mirrors, brothers. That's it. The Christian church is full of smoke and mirrors. They make you feel like choosing that lifestyle is better. But in reality, you're so stupid that you don't even realize life has never been good. Maga War, what the hell are we talking about? Why do you think people come into the truth? Because life was so good in the church? You think we in here bumping our gums for no reasons? Our children are dying by the hundreds of thousands every single year to drug and gang violence and imprisonment, and all of them are in the Christian church. We dying from AIDS and HIV. Our lungs is collapsing. Our hearts are failing. Our blood pressure is rising. And all of us are in the Christian church. So why the hell do you think that we look for a way out in the first place? You got to stop being so simple. You left Egypt because Pharaoh had his foot on your neck. That's why you left Egypt, but you forgot. You forgot. The second you get free, you'll forget and you'll start to want happiness. You'll start to want happiness all over again. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what you should want is freedom. That's what you should fight for. You stay with your husband because you're fighting for freedom. Free to serve the God that you are ordained to serve. Free to love the man that you want to love. How many sisters out there feel like they're not even free to love their man? You're not even free to do it. You're not free to bring your man to your mother's house. You can't walk into your family reunion and say, "This is my husband." You're not even free to do it. Well, sister, if you're not free to do that, then you better stay with that man as he goes out there and blazes on the streets of America. While he blazes in these classrooms, while he teaches Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth, so that one day you can be free. Free from your family, free from yourself. 2,000 years ago, Maga War, we didn't want to be free. We wanted to eat. We wanted to be happy. We wanted to go back to Egypt. Keep going. We're going to end off on this.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on the Lord's side?"
Moses heard of all of these things. He's seen it. He's seen it. And brothers, this is the spirit you're going to have to enact. You're going to have to enact it today, right now. You're going to have to do what Moses did 2,000 years ago. You have to do it right now with that woman you sleep with the brother you call your bro, with your family members. If they decide that they want to get in front of the truth and stand in front of God, then you're going to have this spirit that Moses had. Read it again.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on the Lord's side?"
Who's on the Lord's side? Who's going to stand with God? Who's going to be with him? Not who wants happiness, not who wants prosperity, not who wants good economics or to save money or to go on dates and get flowers and have 1,000 women and do all that, whatever the hell else people like to do. Your happiness is not in question here. Your loyalty is. Your servitude is. Who is going to choose the Lord? Keep going.
Let him come unto me.
Let him come here. You brothers in the truth, you come with me. I'm coming with you. We're going to be together because we're choosing to serve the Lord. You sisters in here, I'm coming to you. You coming to me. We're going to roll with Commander Jenna Yohana up in here together. Don't give a damn about the water bill. Don't give a damn about food and money and this and that and third. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about you not being able to pay the water bill? Are you going to die? You know how many people are paying for water bill? You know how many rich billionaires are dying from heart disease, Michael? You should look it up. You should look up how many millionaires are dying from health conflicts. They're just dying. All the money in the world can't save you from yourself, dum-dum. You can't stop smoking. You can't stop vaping. Then you end up on some commercial at 60 years old talking about some, I used to smoke with a hole in my throat. I bet the light bill is paid, though. I bet the water is running hot and cold up in that house, though, Magawar. They need the water to change the bandages when they have to change the hole on their neck. But the water's paid for, though. Most High in Christ for that. Who the hell cares about that? Who the hell cares about our suffering? If we're not willing to suffer for the Most High, then we're nothing. with nothing. So Moses asked, who's going to stand with the Lord? And if whoever stood with the Lord, you come with me. Keep going.
Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
And Levi would a priest during the time, right? This is what established the Levi priest right here, right now, because Levi, which today would be your modern day Haitians, they decided we're gonna stand with the Most High, and that's the spirit of Levi today. If you know them West Indians, them them Levites, them Haitians, they don't give a damn about eating mud pies, my boy. They don't give a damn. Them Haitians will eat mud pies. They'll literally eat mud and be starved, be poor, and kill the French. This Bible is alive. This is real history. The Levites don't give a damn about being poor. They're going to kill the French. And that's what they did. They went to war with the French and killed and beat them. They beat the French army, the military, and the Navy. They destroyed the French. And then they said, now get the hell out of here while we eat our mud pies. And ain't looked back since. They still eat mud pies in Haiti in 2026. Well, 2,000 years ago, those Levites were willing to do the exact same thing. They were willing to starve rather than be oppressed by some stinking heathen, rather than have some French or some Egyptian tell us how we supposed to live. Tell us what we supposed to eat, what God we're supposed to serve, what we supposed to do. The Haitians had the same spirit 2,000 years ago in Exodus in the wilderness. They said, we're going to stand with Moses. We're going to come with you. And we're going to serve the Lord and be hungered. We ain't gonna chase happiness. We're going to chase the Most High. Keep going.
Khan, verse 27. And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side.
He said, thus saith the Lord God of Israel. This coming from the Lord. He talking to the Leviticus, he talking to Levi. Every man take your sword, put it by your side. That Levi's listening like, oh shit. What Moses talking about? This is spirit that you gotta have. Understand? Of course, in here, we ain't telling you to harm nobody. So don't take this literal. This ain't for you to go harm nobody. But you got to be willing to cut off the people around you that will not have Christ rule over them. You're going to have to. You understand? Spiritually, you're going to have to. You're going to have to stop letting them have spiritual reign over you. In other words, to make it plain, stop giving a flying F about what anybody got to say about your husband. Stop giving an F about you. Anybody got to say about your wife or about the Lord or about Commander General Yohana or the truth. What the hell is you giving an F for? Don't Christians know that 2,000 years ago, they would have been standing on the other side of Moses? Don't they know? Of course, Michael Ward, what they think? They would have been the priest? Michael Ward, that's what Christians think. Christians think they would have stood with Moses. Let's see. Let's see if Christians would have stood with Moses. Keep reading.
Okay. And go in and out from gate to gate, throughout the camp.
He said, throughout the whole camp, the masses of Israel is here. Throughout the whole camp. He said, go in and out through gate to gate. Keep going. Let's see if he's giving them repentance. Let's see what he's giving with Moses. Maybe Moses is giving them communion. You want to serve the Lord, you don't. Maybe you just get communion if you decide to not serve the Lord. Let's see. Keep going.
Okay. And slay every man.
Mongo, you got really good. Hold on now. Can the church say amen for a second? Hold on, because I just heard you say a word that doesn't sound real Christian. We talking about go through the gates of Satan, right? That's what we're talking about? The gates of Satan? Is that what we're talking about? It's not the gates of Satan? Okay, it must be the gates of the devil then, right? It's not the gates of the, what about, okay, this has to be the gates of bad, evil angels. Evil spirits? Okay, okay, it must be like some kind of it's the Egyptians, right? The Egyptians, right? That had us enslaved.
Lie.
I mean, what gates is we talking about? What people is this that they're going through the gates? You telling me these are the Israelites that were with Moses? His people? They went to the gates and Moses said to do what?
And slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor.
Moses said to go through them gates and kill everybody. I can't wait for Sunday, Margot War. I can't wait. I need the pastor to break this down. I need to understand this. It said to slay everyone, their brother, their neighbor, and their companion. That means friends and associates getting it too. Can you imagine, Margot War? Can you imagine being in camp with a people and you casting lots with people? You're getting drunk, you're partying, you like, yo, we just left Egypt. And then one day you got to say, you know what? I know you, my uncle. I know you, my cousin. I know you're my father. Done. That's how serious God is. That's how serious. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they told me it is so much easier to be in the Christian church. I think about every brother and sister that has left the school from the little bit of time that I've been in here. You are so right. It is so difficult to be glorious. It's so difficult to be righteous. It is so difficult to serve the Most High. You're absolutely right. In the Christian church, it's easy. You know what you do in the Christian church, Margot War? You just die. That's it.
Okay.
There's nothing else to do in the Christian church. Just die. That's all you're waiting to do. You're smoking weed, you're eating pork, you're having homosexual sex. What are you doing in the church? You're just waiting to die. You're just waiting for somebody to say, you know, Aunt Jemima, you know, Aunt Jenkins, she dead. Yeah, she died. She got high blood pressure. She died. You heard about cousin Leroy? Yeah, he got shot last week. No, yep. Bloods retaliated. You heard about Pops, right? Pops he got a lifetime sentence, man. Yeah, he in prison. You heard about Moms? Yeah, she was sleeping with old boy. Old boy had AIDS. Now mom got AIDS. You just dying. You just dying in the Christian church. Yeah, that's easy, Doc. What's difficult is living. That's hard. It's hard to live when you're hungered, when you're in pain, when you're not happy. It's hard to continue living when you're not happy. Moses wanted to find those who was ready to live. And those who wasn't ready to live, he just ended their suffering. He just ended it, Margot Ward. That's all he did. Y'all starving so much, huh? You're in pain so much, huh? You can't pay. You're so unhappy, ain't you? Sisters, you so unhappy. You're so unhappy with the situation that you're in. You're so much in pain. You're so unhappy. Just unalive him. Just get rid of him. Just kick him out the school. That's General Hyman. Just get him out of the school. Just go die. Lord be with you. And that's what Moses did. Moses just told him to unalive. Is there any more on that?
Lie.
Moses had him just go unalive everybody. You don't want to serve the Lord, no sweat. Go serve Baal in the next life. Maybe you'll get another chance to serve Baal. Maybe you get another chance to serve Shiva or Nimrod or whatever God you want to serve in the next life. When you die from AIDS and HIV, when you die from alcoholism, when you die for some domestic violence, abusive situation, when you die from it, maybe you'll be born again and then maybe you'll get another chance to try to chase happiness. Or you can live. Living hurts. Living hurts. You ever talked to somebody that has cancer, Maga War? My aunt, she died from brain cancer not too long ago. If you've never talked to somebody that has cancer, you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand it. Talk to somebody that has cancer. It hurts to live. It's easy to die. Well, the men and the women in the Israelite school of UPK, we'll just accept the pain to live. That's it. We'll do. We won't eat what God said not to eat. We won't smoke what God said not to smoke. We won't drink what God said not to drink. We won't sleep with who God said not to sleep with. We won't celebrate what God said not to celebrate. We won't do what God said not to do, regardless of our happiness, so that we can live. That's as simple as I could put it. I don't know no other way of giving it to you.
Okay.
With that, you could choose whether you want to stand with God and live, or you want to stand with your grandmama and die. Whatever one, Lord be with you. Right? Anything else? Where we at? Way over the time. Anything else? So what?
Okay.
All right. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class right there. I do want to shout out the cookout in Chicago, but forgive me, I don't know the exact dates. I don't know if it's this weekend or a couple weekends coming up here after, but make sure y'all supporting all of the Israelite School of UPK's cookouts. You got Philadelphia, I believe, in the first week of September. You got Chicago coming up. You also got Vegas in October 1st through the 4th. Make sure you get with your camp leaders. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dallas is creeping in there. I don't know if I'm overstepping. Salagi, Captain Yadazak, if I am. But I don't know if I think I heard something about Dallas coming up in there. That's going to be crazy. So make sure y'all get with the camp leaders. Stay in touch with the Israelite School of UPK. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe all of these classes. Get into class. If you're in Eastern Carolina, if you're in Goldsboro, Greenville, Farmville, Winterville, Kinston, all the way to the coast, make sure you find the nearest school near you in Eastern Carolina. Of course, will be myself here. And get in class, man. It's time for brothers and sisters to wake up to the truth and start living their life for the Most High. Understanding with that, if there's nothing else, I do want to say the water and shalom. Lord Christ.
Okay.